I'm Augustus. I'm traveling to the United States to listen to Americans I meet and to tell them about my candidacy for President of the United States in 2028. I'm here in Des Moines, Iowa. I'm standing where the Raccoon and Des Moines rivers meet in a city that serves as the heartbeat of the American heartland, a place defined by deep roots, rolling prairies, and a work ethic that starts before the sun is even up. This is the 29th capital of my 50 plus 1 capitals tour. My plan seems obvious and necessary to me, but for other presidential candidates, it could be considered unnecessary and maybe even a waste of time. The plan is to visit every capital in this country over the course of about 60 days, not to give motivational speeches, but to listen. I'm here to hear about the 24% drop in farm income that's hitting our families hard this year, the rising cost of seed and fertilizer that makes breaking even feel like a victory, and the small business owners on main streets from Sioux City to Davenport who are wondering if the next generation will be able to afford to stay here in Iowa. Iowa is often called the Hawkeye State. It's a title of vision and sharpness. But I prefer the way people here actually live. Iowa Nice isn't just a slogan on a mug. It's the guy who pulls over to help you change a tire on a gravel road without being asked. It's the neighbor who knows your cattle are out before you do and already has the gate open. But lately, that social contract is being frayed by a brand of politics that treats Iowa like a 4-year pit stop for a photo op. While the big shots are busy shouting for the cameras every caucus cycle, Iowans are quietly keeping the world fed, from the biotech labs here in Des Moines to the corn and soybean rows that fuel our economy. They offer us noise, you offer the nation its substance. I'm standing here at the Iowa State Capitol. It's the only 5-domed capitol in the country, and the 23-carat gold leaf on the central dome is a sight to behold. It's a symbol of prosperity, but the real strength of the state isn't in the gold leaf or the imported marble inside, it's in the foundation, literally. This building sits on stone cut from glacial boulders gathered right from the Iowa prairie. A dome that heavy only stays up if the weight is distributed evenly. Right now, the weight of this country is being shoved on the shoulders of the working class and the independent farmer, and the people at the top are wondering why the foundation is starting to crack. It's easy for a politician to get misty-eyed about a sunset over a field of tall corn, but scenery doesn't pay the high interest rates on a machinery loan, and it doesn't keep a rural hospital's doors open. I'm not here for the beautiful views, I'm here for the people. If you want to lead this state, you better be able to look a pork producer in the eye without flinching, and you better have a plan that actually respects the families who have worked the same acres for 5 generations. To be leader of the whole country, you have to actually know the whole country. You have to marvel at the Great Lakes, admire the views along the Pacific Coast Highway, cross the mighty Mississippi, which marks Iowa's eastern border, and visit the beautiful Smoky Mountains. You cannot lead a people you do not know, and you cannot know the people from inside a high-flying jet, a speeding motorcade, or a gilded office in D.C. Having lived in 7 states and visited all 50 states at least once before, I think I have a glimmer of understanding of who we, the people of the United States, are. But you can never stop learning. That's why I'm visiting each state again, and I will continue to do so both during my campaign and during my time in office. Now you might be thinking, who is this guy? As I said, I'm Augustus. I was born in New York State 65 years ago. Like you, I've spent much of my life working. I've seen presidents come and go, and I've seen industries rise and fall. And I've watched as the people who keep this nation functioning, the nurses in our clinics, the crews maintaining I-80, and the staff at your local grocery store are treated like numbers on a spreadsheet, not human beings. You may be asking yourself, is he qualified? The Constitution says I am. You need to decide for yourself what qualified means to you. To me, for instance, qualified means working as hard as I can to help the most people possible. Think about the people who meet in this Capitol or in Washington, D.C. How many of them are qualified in your eyes? How many of them are working to make your utility bills manageable or your fuel prices affordable? It seems to me that many representatives have forgotten the primary requirement of their jobs, remembering who they represent. They shouldn't represent the lobbyists, they shouldn't represent their party, and they definitely should not represent the ultra-rich. Your representatives and the President of the United States should represent you, period. I stand for the people, not for corporations that treat employees like disposable parts, not for the rich and ultra-rich who treat the law as a suggestion, and not for the special interests who think their way is the only way. I believe in a land of freedom and opportunity, not a land where out-of-state investors push families out of the communities they've built over generations. Why consider an unaffiliated, unconventional candidate like me? Maybe because you're exhausted. You're sick of having to choose between generic candidate A and generic candidate B, neither of whom has had to decide between a grocery bill and a mortgage payment. While a vote for a candidate who isn't a member of one of the two major parties can be scary, isn't it scarier to have to choose between bad and worse? Choose to vote for someone who will actually work to make your lives better. Vote from compassion, not fear. The motto of Iowa is, "Our liberties we prize, and our rights we will maintain." It's a powerful promise of a people who value their independence, but lately it feels like those liberties are only accessible to those at the top, while the rights of the average worker are being eroded by rising costs and falling support. It's time to ensure that the promise of this state reaches the people working two jobs just to put food on the table and a roof over their heads. I'm headed to Lincoln, Nebraska next. I have 21 capitals and many miles to go. If you see me in your state, don't just take a picture. Come over and say hello. Tell me what's keeping you up at night. Tell me what you want for your children. I'm Augustus, and I'm here to listen. I'll see you in the state where you live. Boulders. I'm okay. I figured out something. One thing to stop worrying about the wind is to take off the name badge, because that's what blows around all the time. Live and learn, right? Live and learn. Where are we? We're starting again. Where are we? Boy, hair needs washing. Okay.